back over here today at Reps Fitness, and we are talking about the chest, specifically different portions of the chest. Now, the chest muscle is a single muscle. It's the chest, the pec major, and then you have your pec minor. Okay, but we can actually preferentially hit different parts of the chest depending upon the angle of pull or push that we're actually using. Chaz is going to talk about a little bit about the angles of a bench press that we're going to be using when we do a bench press with dumbbells.
Here you see me doing flat bench dumbbell presses, and you notice that you're basically hitting the majority of the chest muscle at this position at 0 degrees. You can definitely see a nice flex when I'm going up, and the main part of that chest muscle right through the middle is being flexed and stretched as you work. Next position would be your 30 degree. And you can see here that it is incorporating the upper pec a little bit more. You can tell by how the pec is stretching and where the dumbbells are going and where I'm pressing through, where it's affecting on that certain part of the chest. Next part you see is 45 degree. 45 degree, you incorporate a little bit more front delts, traps, upper part of the chest, majorly the upper part of the chest. You can definitely see where it's stretching and where I'm flexing on the upper portion of that chest. Just as Brad said, chest is one muscle but can be sectionalized into 2 different parts. It can be worked differently at different angles. This is where we're showing you that right here.
Mm-hmm. And Chaz was doing also a good job. And the nice thing about the dumbbells is he was doing a good job of actually horizontally adducting, bringing those biceps closer together and those dumbbells closer together, get that nice squeeze on the upper chest as he was bringing the arms together. So that was great. Now, another way we can hit it is also on a cable machine. A cable machine is really good for doing what you're seeing me do here, and that's this upper cross. It's hitting the what we call the clavicular fibers. It's just a different portion of the pec major. A little bit more since we're going from a very low position up across, leading with the elbow, thinking about bringing that elbow across midline once again to get that horizontal adduction and a nice contraction. You can kind of see that chest really pop there in the upper portion of the chest here because we're going from low to high following those fibers.
Yeah,
Yes.
Not a normal move that people really do, especially doing the single arm on the flies. You see a lot of people doing both arms, but you really can focus a lot more by doing that single arm motion.
Yeah, and I kind of like to isolate it that way. You just kind of think about it. But if you're short on time, you can go with both and do the same thing. You're just crossing across.
Yeah. Cross that center line.
Cross midline, the center line. Okay, now one more thing we have to show you here is a tip, or actually a question that one of your clients came up with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was questioning.
Yeah, she was doing a reverse grip bench press, and she felt it a lot in her front delts. And right here, basically, what we're doing, or what I'm doing, is I'm bringing those shoulder blades in, so you don't have your shoulder blades out, so you're not really getting that big stretch in the shoulders. Pinching those shoulder blades in actually helps incorporate more chest on the reverse grip bench, and that will take those front delts out of play to a certain extent and help you focus more on the chest, so you won't have that shoulder soreness. Just make sure to keep those shoulders pinched into that chest, pressing up through the chest.
Yeah, and some people have told me also they feel it less shoulder pain if they have a shoulder impingement, or if they've had shoulder pains in general, because you're actually externally rotating the shoulder, which is creating more space in the joint, actually. So the structures, the different structures there in the shoulder can actually have more space to move around, so you don't have as much impingement going on. So some people say they feel less pain when they bench press. So that's another trick you guys can try.
Yeah, that's another reason why some people don't flare those elbows out and they bring them in, and they incorporate a little bit more triceps and probably a little bit more back into that press. It's more of like a power press, but then that kind of takes the shoulders out of play.
Exactly.
And
positioning the elbows.
Yeah,
big.
I think that if you do have that and you do have that injury, and then you kick those shoulders in for a while and you do that narrow pressing, once your shoulders are healed, definitely kick those elbows out, because you definitely get a wider approach to your bench press, and just take care of those shoulders while you're benching. So.
Right, and that's a video we're going to be making here in some weeks ahead, is actually how to train around injuries.
Very important.
Because it can be done. There's really no excuse. You can almost always train around an injury. You may have to modify things.
Been doing it for like 12 years.
There's the expert right here. He knows his stuff.
Yes, you're definitely going to run into stuff like that as you go on your fitness journey. I mean, things happen.
Inevitable.
You're human. You're not bionic. So, I mean, things do happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you definitely got to take care of yourself, and you definitely don't want to stop. And I've read many articles that say that it's very important to keep training when you know that you can. And there's certain instances when you can tell and you cannot tell if you should train or not. So it's really just listening to your body and knowing what's appropriate. So
Right. Learning your body. But there's no excuses. You can always train.
oh yeah,
You can always train. Man to modify, but you can always train. But that's a subject for a future
yeah.
time. But that video will be coming up here in the weeks ahead. All right, guys, train hard. We'll see you soon. Have a great day and a great week ahead. Bye.